Hey guys, we are on day 3 of multiplying decimals. We're going to start today without our pieces, right? So we don't have pieces today or our base 10 blocks, and we don't have our highlighters today. So we are actually getting into the nitty gritty, right? We're going to figure out how to multiply decimals using, first today we're going to use area model, and then tomorrow we're going to go and switch to partial quotient or partial products. Partial quotients will come in 2 weeks, don't worry. So you've seen this in elementary school, right? Area model is just where you line up your length and line up your width and multiply the two together. So what we're going to do first is we're going to separate our two numbers. We have two digits for each number. Each digit is going to go in a box or above a box, right? Or next to a box. If you have more than 2 digits, you would make more boxes. Okay, so our first number that we're gonna place in our area model is 1 2/10. Remember, which one is your rows? Is that the first number or the second number? Right, that's the first number. So the first number is 1. Notice I put 1.0. And then 2/10. Okay, my second number is 1 6/10. When you are using area model, you are multiplying the two numbers together and placing their product in the boxes where the two meet. I'll show you what I mean. We have 1 times 1, right? 1 times 1 equals 1. Good. Now we have 6/10 times 1, or 1 times 6/10. 1 times 6/10 equals, well, anything times 1 is itself, right? 6/10. 1 times 2/10, they meet here. 1 times 2/10 is 2/10. Here's where it gets a little tricky. 6/10 times 2. 10ths. Sorry, 6/10 times 2/10, right? We discussed yesterday that we saw this pattern. 2 times 6 is 12. How many numbers come after the first decimal? 1. How many numbers come after this decimal? 1, for a total of 2 numbers. So my answer should be 12 hundredths. If you have to model this, consider doing 6 lines going horizontally, right, for your rows, and 2 going vertically. Count the number of dots where the 2 lines cross, and those are your hundredths. If you count 12, that will confirm our answer of 12 hundredths. Now remember, think back to elementary school. When you have all 4 of these numbers, or however many numbers in your boxes, what do you do with those digits? You add them together. So we have 1, we have 2/10, we have 6/10, we have 12 hundredths. Remember the rule for adding decimals, you always line up your decimals. 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 0 is 9. 1 plus nothing is 1. And your decimal comes straight down. So your answer is 1 92 hundredths. Okay. Let's talk about this one. We have 3 9/10. 3 9/10 is close to what whole number? 4, right? So 4 times something, right? But we can talk about that decimal as 1/2. What is half of 4? 2. So our answer should be around 2. Let's talk about what our answer is. Okay, let's discuss what our answer is using area model. I need to get this focused. So our first number is our number of rows, right? We have 3 and then 9/10. Okay. When you get really fast at doing these kind of problems, you forget to add zeros. And then the next one is 0 and 5/10. Okay. Let's start with our first box. 3 times 0. Well, we know anything times 0 is still 0. 9/10 times 0. Doesn't matter if it's a decimal, doesn't matter if it's a whole number, it's still 0. 5/10 times 3. Let's use our decimal trick. What's 5 times 3? 15. And then we have one number after this decimal. Do we have any numbers after the decimal in 3? Besides 0, right? 0 doesn't really count in this situation. No, right? So we're going to move in 1. My answer is 1.5. Think about if you had 50 cents. If you have 50 cents 3 times, then you have $1.50. Okay? And lastly, 5/10 times 9/10. 5/10 times 9/10 equals, well, we know that the number is 45, right? Because 9 times 5 is 45. How many numbers come after this decimal? 1, and here? 1, so my answer should have 2 numbers after the decimal. Remember, you could also use this trick here, right, to kind of guess and test what it would be. But right now we have all 4 boxes filled in, so let's go ahead and add. I'm only going to add 2 numbers together because 0 plus 0 is still 0. Okay? 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 1 plus 0 is 0. Bring the decimal straight down. My answer is 1 and 95/100. Is that around 2? I would say yes, for sure. All right, guys, I know that was really quick. Remember, you can pause and you can rewind if you want to see it again. Please try to do the homework. Please try to do the homework and bring it back to class tomorrow. We will go over the homework and do some other items with this area model as well. Okay? See you then. Bye-bye.